Hey, Monkey community. Hope everyone had a great Tuesday. Let's check in on the project. You can see we're at 294,000 market cap, which is down slightly over 24 hours on low volume. And the project continues to trade sideways and down a bit. And hopefully we've hit that floor. We've been sort of, as you can see from the long-term chart here, bottoming out for the last, couple months here, which is a good sign. Obviously, we want the green candles, but as we talked about before, all of the billion-dollar memes have this strong pullback, 90%, oftentimes multiple 90% pullbacks. That's to clean out the holder count and the holder quality, and then you're left with that strong group of loyal holders. And all the billion-dollar meme coins have that cult-like following that is the foundation, is the start. And so I think we've got that with Monkey, and we've got the obviously the cute mascot, the simple, pure animal runner, which I think everyone kind of yearns for. And then we've got that loyal group of holders that starts from the bottom. And we are one of the few projects, in my opinion, that actually has this, right? Some projects at this point would be on their way to dying out. I think Monkey just continues to get stronger in our resolve as a community, and we're adding more folks as we go. We're getting more mentions. The mind share still up. We're, I believe, one of the most active communities, one of the best communities out there. And so that is absolutely necessary for a coin to run. And, sometimes people will wonder, hey, when's my coin going to run? How can I determine if my coin is going to run? I think you have to have that cult-like community, and then it's honestly, up to the community how far we take this and how far we can run based on our conviction. And I think we do need the catalyst, obviously, and we'll talk about that a little bit. We do need the market to be a little bit better overall. So these are all things that we can't control. But like we said, I can't remember who, but someone had a post yesterday that said, you know, do well in what you can control, basically. Don't worry about things you can't control and just do what you can control excellently, such as shilling, encouraging each other, trying to onboard new holders, and all that good stuff. And don't forget, we're still so early. I mean, we're coming up on 6 months here. That's still quite early for a cult coin like Monkey. We're still building. We're still adding people. We're still working our bags. So we are early, and the community has to be strong since we're the foundation that's going to push it higher. And remember, if we can get a number of us each holding 1% or more as the whales, we dictate how high it goes once we start getting some momentum. Now we have to figure out how to get that momentum. But there's a lot of ways to do that with the influencers we're dealing with, pump fun in general, or if we see just a mass return to memes, I think we'll be in good shape to run. And don't forget the larger buys that come in. We see it for coins like Wojak and others. As they get some momentum, some of the larger whales and influencers start piling in, and then things start running. But a lot of time these influencers and larger whales are afraid to buy something like Monkey at under 300,000 just because they need to make sure there's enough liquidity for them, and so they'll come in later. But this is the perfect opportunity for us to build our bags, and so that we have more control when things start running because we'll own a lot of the supply. So that's just my thesis on it. So don't forget to keep working your bags. I know Bryce was on the Sling and Mitch stream that they had earlier and actually mentioned Monkey, and Mitch read his comment, and Sling talked a little bit about how he bought and sold. I think Sling's done that twice. He might own in a side wallet, as I mentioned yesterday, because he did say in his Telegram that he was going to stop trading in his Doxed wallet and instead do things in his side wallet. So he might still own because he bought and sold like in the same night. And so, but Bryce got that mention. So what I'm saying is you can go on streams, you can go in Telegram, you can go on TikTok even, and X obviously, and keep on working the bags because you never know whose attention you might get. People might say, wow, this community works hard. And all that's just kind of building up that momentum for when we get that catalyst. All right, let's look at X and see what's going on here. Solid had an interesting post here. Why are the institutions buying Bitcoin like crazy in the last week? Probably something. And there's another post I think about this where, Bitcoin's been down lately, and folks have talked about how it looks like it's being manipulated, going up and down, liquidating both the shorts and then the longs and kind of alternating between the two. And so, there's another post. Why are the big boys buying Bitcoin, right? That's bullish, and they're shaking people out, and people are getting scared. And that's what institutions do, right? Yeah, they wouldn't be the biggest companies in the world if they weren't capable of doing this type of thing and looking at trends and using their muscle to push people around. So good post here from Solid. Andy Leon here says memes are for the people. They prove joy and profit can coexist beautifully. And at least for me, I'm having fun with Monkey still, even with the price down. The profit's coming. I think we just need to keep on having fun, working our bags, and we met great people in the Monkey community, right? I mean, that's already been a benefit. I think we're just waiting for that profit, which I do believe is coming. And like Andy Leon says here nicely, those two can coexist. We can have fun, and then we can also make some money here. Mara Nawfal here says Coinbase CEO says broken financial system is pushing younger generations toward crypto. Do you agree with this? And I do tend to agree with it, and this just kind of hits on that theme that we've been talking about over the last few weeks, where we're just so early on crypto in general, and we see all the changes in the US at least, and around the world really, where countries are buying, talking about setting up Bitcoin strategic reserves, and then all the new legislation that's coming through in the US and with the Trump family being bullish on crypto. So I think we are kind of changing our mindset, and the younger generations are moving toward crypto, and more and more things are going to be on chain as we go forward. That's just seems obvious, right? Long term, and everyone's kind of scared about the red right now. It might pull back again, but I think long term, we're in good shape here. And Altcoin Daily has a quote here from CZ, which I think kind of is along the same lines as investing in cryptocurrency is risky, but not investing in cryptocurrency is also risky. If we see where it's going broadly with crypto, with mass adoption and becoming more structured and kind of coming out of the shadows, you could say it's very risky to not hold crypto. And I think memes in general, there's always going to be money flowing to memes, especially solid, easy to understand memes like Monkey. So to me, very risky not having a nice bag of Monkey. I think a lot of us are really bullish on the prospects for Monkey and crypto in general. I think when the broad market comes back, Monkey's going to run. Bitcoin historian says just in 4 billion. Mara CEO says live on Bloomberg that the Fed is about to print and send Bitcoin higher. Bottom is in. I think it's obvious with Trump's policy that he's pushing with the lower interest rates, money flowing more freely is bullish for markets, including crypto. Tenjin posted here a clip from Thread Guys and Cupsy on what Elon could do to save meme coins. Anything, literally anything. There's no steps coming from anybody right now. They're all just letting everything bleed to zero. Like we haven't seen anything from Pump since Mayhem, and honestly, before that too, there was nothing. So that is the wild card. Elon hasn't posted in a while. There's speculation about what's going on with him. But if he comes back, is he going to push the pump folio and kind of continue what he had started earlier in the year? I think there's a good chance if they are indeed working on something that it could have something to do with the pump folio and kind of regaining their good name in the space as they did back when Bonk was taking market share, right? They came back and took over again. They've taken some criticism lately for the dev fees and the changes there. So I think they will come back with something that is better for the long-term holders. And they've hinted at that before and tried some things. And I think it's just gonna, hopefully they have something and they ask Orangey and some of the other guys that have influence on what they might do to make it better. and then that would reward long-term holders. So I'm hopeful for that, and there's definitely a chance that something like that happens. We just don't know, so that's definitely a wild card. Drelio says, I've seen this movie before. Sol starts pumping. People call it a bear market. Meme coins bleed. Everyone capitulates. Then Sol pumps, and meme coins do a 10x pump overnight. We are right before the pump. Again, when everyone's down, when everyone's selling, when there's crickets, that's where the real money's made. And I think it's the same for Monkey. It's bottomed out. Some people might say Monkey's dead. We know it's not dead. The community's still there. The community's still working, and this is a nice floor. And I think this is when the real money's made. We could easily 10x, folks. I once we hit a million, we could quickly run just because of the quality of the holders and the community, right? Everyone knows Monkey, and when they see a little bit of green, that's when people start coming in. Again, we saw that back here with this small pump here where we almost broke out. I think it went up to 1.6 million in like a day, right? It was quick. I think we can see that type of movement again. Gordon said, "We all know the quote, buy when there's blood in the streets, but now we're seeing who really has conviction and who is emotional and easily manipulated. These conditions are perfect for searching for some bargains and building perfect. And I think it's perfect time for Monkey, where we can make these life-changing decisions to buy and hold and see what happens. I think there's enough action with Monkey where Bryce got the mention on the stream. We've got the Alon stuff coming. We've got Sling mentioning Monkey and Mitch mentioning Monkey multiple times. We've got a lot of things like that where any one of these things could just set it off and send us running. So now's the time, if you have conviction, to look into it, do your research on Monkey, and grab a bag or add to your bag. And Iced here says it perfectly. It really only takes one play to make it and change your life. A lot of folks that are now influencers who do this full time, they had the one big play where they had some conviction, held, found the right thing, a little bit of luck, right? And it changed their lives. And I think Monkey can do that. I think we found the right play. We just need to make it happen through our hard work and conviction and holding. And hopefully we can make that life-changing money we're looking for. Eddie, shout out Eddie. I think he's still a Monkey holder. Bitcoin won't be below 100,000 for much longer. A major move up is coming any day now. Bulls have been in control since 80,000. Expect a rally leading up to Christmas. I Yeah, I don't know exactly. I'm not an expert on this, but I do get the feeling there's just all the ups and downs have been manipulation, and folks in general are bullish on Bitcoin because of all the institutional moves and the stuff coming from the Trump administration. So I think smart money is bullish on Bitcoin overall. Some people might be sidelined because they're waiting for another pullback before they get back in, but I think even if there is a pullback, the next pump's going to be huge. Bitwise agrees there and forecasts a bullish 2026 for crypto, predicting new Bitcoin all-time highs, massive ETF demand, outperformance of crypto equities, and deeper institutional adoption across markets. I think this is all good for our monkey bags. And talking more about the large wallets, Glassnode says wallets holding 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin added 54,000 Bitcoin, about 4.66 billion this week, the fastest accumulation pace since 2012. So this is extremely bullish that these larger wallets, and this is 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin, are accumulating. So what does that tell you? The market's down a bit, trading sideways the last couple of days, I think, but these whales are accumulating like crazy. That's a bullish signal. I think we've seen this quote before, but I'll say it again. Bitcoin Junkie says 12 trillion. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says crypto replaced the traditional financial system. I think they're seeing the value in it. The current system is antiquated. I think it was the Nasdaq's going to open up markets, I think 23 hours or something like that a day. And so they're seeing, the old model's antiquated, and we're going to have things on chain and more freedom, faster, and all that. And I think the big boys are starting to see that now. Link says everyone always claims that crypto guys just got lucky, but they forgot to mention they were the most hardcore dip buyers in the game. Name another set of people that watch their portfolio drop 30 to 50% in a single day, yet the holders are unfazed as they watch it continue to thrive long term. This made me think of the monkey community. They're going to call us lucky. They're going to say, wow, you got lucky, you got on that monkey early, but they're not going to see all the pain in buying and holding and DCAing this whole time, right? And believing in something when others couldn't see it. And so this isn't luck. This is conviction. And then remember, we can make it happen, the community, by working hard, encouraging each other, adding more holders, and so on and so forth. We're going to thrive long term here. Cozy the caller, most of the timeline has given up. Group chats are silent. Most people are bearish. If you ask them, many have sold without looking back. Everyone is counting crypto out. This is exactly when we, the people that actually make money in this space, start buying 100,000 soon. And I think that that's key is we have the opportunity to add at incredible prices. And Monkey is just one of the quality projects out there. Obviously, it's my conviction. Um, but we have the opportunity to add here. And the real ones are adding and having conviction. And that's when we really start making money. And Cozy's calling 100K soon for Bitcoin. Little Toro says nothing is free in this world. The price of growth is pain. The price of courage is fear. The price of success is failure. You have to pay the price to get what you want. And we're kind of seeing that right now. We're going to grow, but we have this short-term pain relatively here for massive growth. And so remember, we have that risk that we're taking. We have that pain. And then the end of that pain, I believe, is going to be growth with Monkey. And Pog here says simply invest in Colts and believe in something. That's the mindset we have with Monkey is this is a great community. You know, I don't know about everyone else, but I obviously want to succeed for myself, but I want to see the members of the community succeed as well. Folks have their families in buying Monkey, and I think we have something unique here. And I just want to encourage everybody to keep on holding and working your bags. And sorry for the long video, but I will see you guys tomorrow.